In this video, I walk you through a full step-by-step beginner-free course to help you get started making money with Amazon online arbitrage as quick as possible. I made over $100,000 profit in my first 10 months buying discounted name brand products to flip on Amazon for a profit without running any ads, creating any products, or buying stuff from China. And I haven't just done this for myself. I've also helped hundreds of new Amazon sellers hit their first $10,000 a month. We'll pop a whole bunch of them up on screen here. This beginner-friendly business model changed my life, and it can do the same for you. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to get started: how to open up a seller account, how to get ungated, what software you need to use, how to find winning products, some special product research tips a lot of people gatekeep online, the entire Amazon FBA shipment process, and everything in between. And if you're ever interested in personalized one-on-one help directly from me, I'll leave a link down below in the description for my coaching program application where I help new Amazon sellers just like you start or grow their Amazon business. Welcome to the ultimate free Amazon online arbitrage course, how everyday 9-to-5ers and college kids are using this beginner-friendly business model to make big profits selling products on Amazon. Attention, this might just change your life. The business that took me from 0 to 10K a month in 45 days without creating my own product, buying stuff from China, or spending $1 on marketing, selling on the world's largest e-commerce platform. Let me introduce you to what experts are calling the e-commerce revolution. We can all agree the world is changing. Everyone you know buys stuff on Amazon, but none of them know that over 60% of products sold on Amazon actually come from everyday people like you and I. That's a wild statistic. Third-party sellers, everyday people like you and I working from home on our laptops. Most beginners think you need 5 to 10K to get started, have to be a full-time seller, and need to make your own product from China. But here's what I learned. None of this is true. I'm speaking from firsthand experience with everything I'm about to show you. But first, make sure you remove all distractions, close down all unnecessary tabs, and listen up. This might just change your life. Money is made through taking action. A little bit about myself. So back when I was in high school, I loved playing basketball, and a big part of basketball is what shoes you wear. And I noticed all these kids were wearing super nice shoes, and I asked one of my friends who was wearing Bread Jordan 1s that were like $400. Like, dude, how are you able to afford this? And he said it's actually because I'm flipping shoes to be able to afford my pair. And I was like, okay, I always like doing stuff like that. Let me try it out. So this is me in my college dorm room actually shipping out a bunch of orders. Since I've gotten better at taping boxes together, but I got a little bit more serious about it during college. And then I eventually started to learn that you could actually sell stuff on Amazon, but it didn't just have to be shoes. This is me when I was working my unpaid internship in insurance a couple years ago, when I actually got bored enough to start trying to sell on Amazon. The problem was I didn't know you could sell name brand products on Amazon as a beginner. I thought you could only sell used stuff. Luckily, I now know that that's not true, so none of you guys have to worry about selling books and used electronics from thrift stores and old storage units people give you for free because they don't want to deal with it. And then I started selling on online arbitrage a couple years back, got really serious really quick, did over 7 figures in sales my first year. My biggest month ever was almost $500,000 in sales and almost $100,000 in profit. And I've also had tons of students do the exact same thing and grow their Amazon business from 0 to 6 to 7 figures as a complete beginner. I know exactly what I'm talking about. This stuff might just change your life. 3 reasons this beginner-friendly business model works so well. Number 1 is you don't need a ton of capital, technical experience, or skills. Number 2 is you can get started part-time while working a 9-to-5 job or in college. And number 3 is e-commerce has changed the world forever. Make sure you don't get left behind. I'm going to give you the plug-and-play system to build a profitable online arbitrage side hustle or business, even if you have no experience and have never made a single dollar online. Online arbitrage hasn't just brought me financial, location, and time freedom. It's also been responsible for changing the lives of many of my students as well. We can see Nate here bought a house, Ian here hitting the 1 million milestone. We can see tons of other student results here. People absolutely crushing online arbitrage. And if you work hard and stay consistent, it's realistic that you can go ahead and build something great too. My boy Jeremy here, he went from 0 to 10K a month profit while working his 9-to-5 as an environmental engineer. Max here, he started selling on Amazon while working a 9-to-5 and in grad school, then quit after making $50,000 profit in just a 30-day period in his first year. And Joey here, he went from 0 to making $20,000 a month in profit online in college, having a ton of fun sharing his journey online. And I certainly cannot guarantee you'll get results like them, but I can guarantee that these are the results of everyday average people like you who have taken advantage of this beginner-friendly business model I'm about to show you. Now, let's dig into what I'm actually about to teach you. Here's our course agenda. So we're going to go through the different Amazon business models. We're also going to go into how much money you actually need to start in a full breakdown, as well as what terms you need to know, how to create an Amazon seller account, account, how to actually get ungated, as well as a big list of AutoUngate Asins you can get unlocked in today completely free, how to use the product research software, the best sourcing method for beginners, and the stuff you should actually avoid doing when you're a beginner, super profitable advanced online arbitrage sourcing tips, how to list items on Amazon, how to create Amazon FBA shipments, and how to use virtual assistants and prep centers to actually scale your business as well. And so grab a notepad. What I'm about to share with you guys is absolutely life-changing free information, but only if you take action and execute. There are so many different ways to sell on Amazon. The first one is Amazon private label, which is buying product from China and creating a brand. This is super complicated, more risky, and expensive to start. You don't want to be worried about stuff coming in from China and then you have to create a listing, do photography, run ads, all that kind of stuff. That's just a lot more hard when you're a beginner, and you need like 5 to 10K absolute minimum to get started. So it's way harder if you're a beginner. The second one is going to be Amazon wholesale, which is buying products in bulk from manufacturers and distributors and selling high. This takes a lot of capital and it's hard to get the ball rolling. It's typically going to take you a couple months to get your first wholesale account. And as an online business beginner, you probably don't want to be doing a bunch of cold calling and cold emailing just to have to get on the phone and close people on why you should be able to sell their products on Amazon. What makes the most sense, guys, is Amazon All-in Arbitrage. By far the simplest and easiest way to get started. Buying products from big retail websites like Kohl's, Walmart, Target to flip on Amazon for a profit. Retail arbitrage is very similar and go hand to hand. You can just buy stuff in-store too at discount stores you probably have locally like Grocery Outlet, Ollie's, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, etc. Luckily, you can actually do online and retail arbitrage at the same time on the same account. I pretty much put them in the same bucket. You could actually do wholesale and OA and wholesale and PL, etc. on the same account too. But start out with online and retail arbitrage. It's way easier. And then Amazon drop shipping, where you list a bunch of items that are on Walmart for double on Amazon. And then when a customer buys on Amazon, you drop ship it directly to them, just ordering it from Walmart with their address. This is not allowed on the platform, and it makes sense why. Imagine you bought a product for $40 on Amazon and you received it in the mail with a Walmart box and a $20 buy cost on their receipt and different information. You wouldn't feel super good. You know what I mean? So you can't do Amazon dropshipping on the platform. It's not allowed. Anyone talking about it is walking a really, tight rope in terms of getting banned. I really wouldn't recommend doing that. All-in arbitrage makes the most sense. Buying discount name brand products, flipping them for a profit, right? And forget wholesale or private label. Instead of spending a fortune on ads and product development and buying risky products to sell, start nice, small, and low risk with all-in arbitrage, right? Just buying stuff from Target here for $14 that sells for $40 on Amazon, $11 profit. You have proven sales history. You don't need to buy a ton up front. You can start with just 5 or 10 units of different products. You don't just have to sell one item. We sell dozens of different items with all-in arbitrage. We're nice and diversified. We don't have all our eggs in one basket. And how much capital do I actually need to get started? So here's a budget breakdown, guys. You do not need 5 to 10K to get started with all-in arbitrage. All you need is 1 to 3K. And I honestly got started reselling with less back in the day. You're going to start out with $40 a month for your Amazon seller account. You're also going to need $20 a month for SellerAmp, which is our product research software, which does the profit calculator, which takes into account all the shipping, fees, and everything that goes into Amazon. It does a lot of the heavy lifting for you in terms of determining if the products you're looking at selling are potentially good. You're also going to need $20 a month for the Keepa product research software as well. $50 a month for Boxum, which is our listing, shipping, and analytics tool to actually manage the back end of your business. I'm going to show you guys how to use all these during this free course, as well as 1 to 3K for inventory, and then like $100 for shipping supplies to start. You can just get F&SKU labels on Amazon, anything with good reviews. Clear poly bags, just get a variety of different sizes on Amazon, just variety pack. Gray poly mailers, typically what makes the most sense is 9 by 12 and 12 by 15.5 from Amazon as well, and boxes from Walmart depending on what size you need as well, right? So here's some terms you need to know as well. The first term you need to know is FBA, which stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. This is the method of selling products where you actually ship your items off in bulk to the Amazon FBA warehouse where they handle the rest. The primary method of selling products through Amazon, where you just get them in bulk, ship them off to Amazon, and then you get paid when they sell. The second one is going to be Fulfillment by Merchant, where you actually ship the products directly to the customers rather than shipping them off in bulk to Amazon. You just ship them individually here. This makes the most sense during seasonal opportunities, which we'll talk about a little bit later, like back to school and Q4, or Easter products during Easter, Thanksgiving products during Thanksgiving, etc., etc. Q4 is the last months of the year, the holiday season, October to December. This is when demand absolutely pops off. Getting started now, you'll be fully prepared for that. The buy box is the buy now option on Amazon. If you go to an Amazon product page, you'll see the white buy box right there that has the seller that's in the buy box right there. This is where I think 90% of the sales go through. It rotates between sellers. We want to be here as much as possible. Number 5 is going to be virtual assistants. This is basically offshore talent that you can hire to help run your Amazon business for crazy cheap in countries where the US dollar goes really far, like Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, the Philippines, etc. Typically for like $3 to $10 an hour to do sourcing, admin, organization. This typically makes sense at about 20 to 30K a month in sales, but some people who have a little bit less time, who have some business sophistication, can do it sooner as well. Prep Center, this is a third-party warehouse that'll actually intake your inventory for you and process it to Amazon for you. Typically, this makes sense to do in a sales tax-free state like New Hampshire, Oregon, Delaware, or Montana. We have a full Prep Center virtual assistant section in a little bit that'll walk you through that. This makes the most sense when you can spend like 500 units per month, and that's really cheap. And because you don't pay sales tax, it actually ends up being cheaper, and you don't have to do the labor, pay for the suppliers, or anything like that. I do recommend getting the ball rolling on your own for sure, just doing your own self-prep because you're going to be able to move so much quicker. Asins stands for Amazon Standard Identification Number. This is a unique number given to every product on Amazon that uniquely identifies it. Even if there's different colors and sizes, one ASIN is not assigned to each color and size combination. Keepa is a product research tool that shows the supply, demand, and price action over time. So Keepa is basically like stock charts for Amazon products. It shows how it's done over time. That's a really, really important tool you guys need to be using. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know with that. SellerAmp is our product research tool that shows the exact profit and helps you find more items, factoring in shipping, fees, sales tax, everything like that. Sales rank is a number assigned to every item to show demand. The lower the sales rank, the better. Stay under 150 or 200K for the most part. Sales rank does change throughout the day, so you want to use Keepa to make sure it's actually been profitable over time. Sales rank literally changes throughout the day. Boxum is our listing, shipping, and inventory management software that makes your life a lot easier as a new Amazon seller. Bolo is basically a hot item, something you want to be on the lookout for. We'll find some Bolos during the product research section as well. The first thing you guys need to do is create your Amazon seller account. All you need to do that is head over here to sellercentral.amazon.com. That's where you're going to be creating your professional seller account. Amazon does not require an LLC to get started selling on the platform. I don't know your personal situation. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if an LLC makes sense, but most new Amazon sellers do not start with an LLC. We can see here more than 70% of Amazon sellers generate their first sales in less than 60 days. I want to make sure 100% of you guys watching this do this quicker, but just head over to sellercentral.amazon.com and create a professional seller account. It does take a couple days to verify, so make sure you get on this ASAP. Once you have your seller account open, I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, what about ungating? So what is gating and ungating? So gating and ungating is basically Amazon wants to avoid fake products being sold on their platform, so they make you prove that certain items you're selling are legit. As a complete beginner, you might be thinking, won't I be gated and everything? But in 2025, anything you can apply for, you can easily be approved for just using order confirmations from big websites or brand websites, even with zero sales history on your account. Just buy 10 of an item from Target, Gap, Walmart, etc. I'll show you guys what that looks like. Say you want to get ungated in the grocery category. All you need to do is go over to Target right here. We can search like Yogi Tea brand right here. So say, yeah, we grab a basic Yogi Tea brand item. We go ahead and copy this. Then we search it on Amazon to make sure this actually exists. Then we find a corresponding listing, make sure it's listed in the same category right here. And then all we need to do is buy 10 of these from a big website like Target, for example. And then instantly, once we get that order confirmation email, we want to download that as a PDF and submit it off to Amazon as our documentation. All you need to do is get order confirmations that combine a 10 plus of a specific item, also listed on Amazon in the brand or category that you want to ungate. Luckily, you only need to do this once per brand, and then you just submit that documentation off to Amazon, and you're good to go. Instantly download the order confirmation emails as a PDF. Title it something professional like ASIN_invoice_date, brand_invoice_date. However, it is important to note, guys, getting denied 5 to 10 times is completely normal for a brand. Don't look at the denial reasons. Just add in more information as you get it. A picture of the product once it comes in, a picture of the shipping label once it comes in, that kind of stuff, the UPS tracking, the credit card statement. Just make it so easy in one combined PDF for them to say yes. Never look at the denial reasons they give. You can just add in all this information. It's going to make your ungating life a lot easier. There's also tons of free automatic approval brands that you can get ungated in from day one with no documents needed. Just going and putting the ASIN in on Amazon and hitting request approval and apply to sell. Here's a big list of them that you can download completely free. So because so many beginners were coming to us saying, oh, I'm gated and everything, I want to show you guys that one, getting ungated is easy, but two, there's also tons of automatic approval brands here too. So we actually put together a free list of them for you here as well. So this is a big AutoUngate list. Obviously, when you download the list for free, it's going to show the specific ASINs here, but not every one of them will work, but some will. You might as well lock in 50 plus from day one. And the more you sell, the more it becomes automatic approval as well. So I want to make it very clear, not all of these will be AutoUngate, but some will. And the more you sell, the more will become AutoUngate. Some easy, quick wins is just Stafford, Danner, 32 Degrees, Athletic Works, J. Crew Mercantile. I bet at least 4 out of those 5 AutoUngate. And all you need to do is put in an ASIN, any ASIN in the brand, and then hit request approval and apply to sell after hitting add product and listing it right there. And then you can storefront stock from there to find more. Just look up an ASIN, try to list it. You aren't required to sell an item if you ungate. Don't worry about that. And eventually you'll trust ungating and just buy from whatever site you find. And these are the formal instructions. You just go to Seller Central, top left, hit add product, paste the ASIN, apply to sell. This list is not 100% perfect for your store. Every store is unique, which is kind of weird that they do it like that, but they do, right? Nice and easy. Don't sleep on ungating, guys. Don't see this as some big obstacle. If you're auto-ungated in a brand, like you can see a bunch of them here, make sure you guys go download those. And then anything you do find that is gated that you need to apply for, just buy 10 from a big retail website and submit that documentation off to Amazon. So now, guys, let's talk about where we really make our money, finding our first few winning products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to do different product research softwares, and then I'm also going to show you guys a couple examples of winning products, and then most importantly, how to actually track down lots of winning products from there. A lot of beginners think you need a ton of complicated and expensive software to actually do this. That is not true whatsoever. All you need is SellerAmp, which will do the job for sourcing, as well as Boxsum for listing, shipping, and managing your business. Here's everything you need to know about product sourcing as a complete beginner. All right, guys, so we're here inside an Amazon product page. This is primarily where we're going to be hanging out when we're actually doing Amazon online arbitrage right here. So we can see these Danner shoelaces, which are actually an AutoUngate. That's why I want to show them to start off right here. We can see they're buy boxing at $18, and they also have 4,000 reviews on Amazon. However, reviews don't really matter. Just focus on the sales rank and estimated sales of a specific product. For basic product research criteria, you want to make sure the BSR is below like a 200 or 250K rank, especially this time of year where there's high demand and just 30 plus estimated sales per month. I know I said stay under 200K during the actual formal product research section, but we can see this item is jumping up and down between 200K, as we're going to see on the Keepa right here, and it's above 30 estimated sales per month. So this is not bad right here. So we can see over on Amazon, this is going for $18 in the buy box here. Now, if we take a look, you want to make sure you're using Google Chrome for this stuff, guys, and you want to go ahead and download SellerAmp and Keepa right here. So SellerAmp is going to be the profit calculator right here. That's going to calculate all the fees, shipping, literally everything like that. So we can see our max cost here is $8, right? So that's where we need to be. So if we go ahead and plug that, after shipping, fees, sales tax, literally everything here, we can see that leaves $3 profit per sale and a 36% ROI. Over on the Sportsman's Warehouse website, we can see these shoelaces are actually going for $8. So if we plug in $7.99 here, we can see that leaves $3 profit per sale and a 40% ROI after all those fees. But the cool thing is we can make our margin even better. So now if I scroll to the bottom here, I can see there's actually a 10% sign-up code we can go ahead and plug in right here. And I'm sure you're thinking, okay, but this is just your first order. Luckily, if it's an email sign-up code, you can literally just put a period in the middle of your email and it considers it a new email. Or you can set up what's called a catch-all email via Namecheap, just nice and easy, just using a YouTube tutorial, and use those again and again. Or a lot of phone number coupons you can just unsubscribe to and then resubscribe to. Or advanced, use what's called Text Now and Google Voice to loop those rates. So we can see, got this 10% here. So now we go from 8, we take off 10%. Now we can see this leaves it as $4 profit per sale and a 55% ROI. But I can also go ahead on Cardbear, which is an excellent tool to decrease your buy costs and increase your margins, and actually buy discounted gift cards here at big discounts to boost my profit margins. So say I buy in a $100 Home Depot gift card for only $90, I just saved 10%. And now the listings are more profitable here. So if I just type in Sportsman's Warehouse right here, boom, we can see here an extra 8% ROI or 9% in this case, 8.9, right? So we take off that here, right? And now this listing becomes even better. So we took this from $8 at about a $3 profit, 40% ROI down to like $6.50, $5 profit, 70% ROI right here. SellerAmp also shows a bunch of helpful info in terms of like the ASIN right here, the title as well, to actually go ahead and look up this item, which is how I found it. We can just go ahead here and hit search product title on Google right here, and then we can see the Google results of what websites actually carry it. And that's really all product research comes down to, guys, when you're a beginner, is just saying, hey, where are there good, fast-selling products? Let me look it up on Google to see what websites carry them, and then how can I actually make these good, right? So now we can see SellerAmp shows us if an item's profitable today. We want to make sure have a good sales rank, either 30 estimated sales per month or below 200K rank, right? Ideally both, right? above $3 profit per sale in terms of the profit on SellerAmp, and then above 30% ROI. So SellerAmp shows us if an item is profitable today, and then Keepa down here actually shows us if an item is profitable over time. So when you initially open up Keepa here, guys, you're going to see a ton of different data. Keepa literally tracks how a product performed ever since it was added on Amazon. So we can see in this case, literally like 10 years ago here. Primarily as a beginner, though, you want to focus on the 3-month data right here, just filtering that in. I'd also recommend hitting sub ranks here in the top right to take away that middle Keepa chart. Pretty much useless. So now you can see the new offer count chart, which is the bottom Keepa chart, as well as the buy box price, which is the top Keepa chart, and the sales rank over time. So we can see, while technically the sales rank's not currently good, it is very historically below that. And we can see the buy box price over time is nice and stable here in pink. So bottom Keepa chart shows the competition over time, and top Keepa chart shows the demand, the sales rank over time, as well as the buy box price. So I get asked all the time, how do you tell how much competition is too much competition on a specific item? And it actually all comes down to the trend, guys. So we want to avoid listings where the competition's shooting up. So for example, if we take a look at this listing, we can see this was bobbing around at like 11 to 13 sellers, and then the competition shot up here. It went from 12 to 20 in like a week, and no wonder the price went from like 43 and 44 here down to like 41, and it'll probably keep going down. But on this item here, the competition went from 8 up to 12, which is not a big change, right? But the price stayed nice and stable, and we can see this is nice and consistently profitable over time here. So this is an example of a nice winning product. This listing, on the other hand, is something I would want to avoid because the competition's shooting up here and the price is shooting down. Unfortunately, I don't even know if it's profitable here, but just taking a look at the trend on this item, I want to personally avoid that right here. Now we can see this does have the suspected IP alert here on SellerAmp. When you see an item that has suspected IP here, you do just need to take a look on the Keepa chart and see if there's any big drops here randomly, which we see in this case, there is not, right? And a lot of listings will also have the PLAK suspected private label alert. That's just due to low competition. It's on you to take a look at that listing is actually dominated by the brand or not. We can see in this case that obviously is not true because we can see, yeah, a bunch of different sellers right here, a bunch of different third-party sellers right here. So we just want to make sure we're selling listings that lots of other third-party sellers are carrying. Another really cool indication of Keepa, guys, is if you take a look at like a pool listing, you'll see how they went absolutely ballistic back in 2020. So if we take a look at this item, we can see it's humming along here around like 100 to 120 bucks. We can see Amazon's actually selling this product themselves. For the most part, you want to avoid listings that Amazon's on when you're a complete beginner. But if we take a look at the all-time data here, we can see back in like 2020, these were like $100 in December of 2019. And then in the summer of 2020 and 2021, this went up to like 280 and even as high as like $450. So that shows how absolutely crazy demand can go on different products during big world events. And you want to make sure you're tapped into that as a seller here. Now, personally, I never recommend headhunting specific types of items. Just focus on what the data shows on Amazon in terms of where to actually start doing product research. You want to make sure you're just doing storefront stalking from the profitable items you see in this video. We're going to find some other ones as well. This item, I don't even know if it's profitable, but we can just see how the sales rank goes down every summer. It makes sense, and the sales rank goes up, indicating demand going down right during the winter, which makes perfect sense. People buy pools less during the winter than they do in the summer. No wonder there's a way higher sales rank during the summer here as well. So now we can see, just want to show you how crazy demand can change on different items. If we take a look at these guys, we can see these are buy boxing for 45 on Amazon. So that puts our max cost at 23. Just looking at this item, it makes sense that there's good demand. You can see right here, our max cost is $23 in order to be profitable here. If we take a look over on Gap, we can see this is going for $29.99. But very, very rarely, guys, is it just going to be profitable at the cost you see on the website here, right? Online arbitrage can be, it could be called extreme couponing, right, in an online sense here. So if we scroll down to the bottom here, we can see there's a 20% email sign-up code. So now I take this from $29.99, where it's just about break even here, to taking off 20%, and now we're at $6 profit, but our ROI is still too low. So we need to go over to Cardbear and see if there's any good discounted gift cards here, in which we can see, plugging that in, we can see, yeah, 20% discounted gift cards here. So now if I take off 20% from this, we can see $11 profit and a 56% ROI. Now we're talking, right? But we need to make sure this listing's actually profitable over time, taking a look at the Keepa right here. So if we go down here, Taking a look at the Keepa chart, we can see the price is nice and stable. The competition went up a bit at the start of March, but it's largely been stable since. It going from 9 to 10 is not bad. I can see some up and down movement of the offer count to indicate people selling out. And this is an example of a nice winning product, guys, but it wasn't without the discounts, and that's really the name of the game. This next item here we can see is going for $43 on Amazon in the buy box here. And then over on Nordstrom Rack, classic discount site, it's going for $20. So we plug in, 19.97 right here. We can see 19.97. $8 profit, 41% ROI, and we want to see if there's any discounted gift cards too, and that's the name of the game. And then we just need to make sure it's actually profitable over time. Taking a look on Keepa, which we can see totally is here. It's been profitable literally the last year. Typically, you want to take a look at the 3-month data and make sure it's been profitable for a while here. So now you've seen a couple examples of winning procs. You know you want to make sure you stay below 200K rank, above $3 profit, above 30% ROI. Make sure that competition is either stable or going down. Make sure the buy box price is either stable or going up. But how do you actually find your own winning procs? Right now, the nice thing is we're literally just, I wouldn't recommend buying what you see in a YouTube video, but different sizes and variations off this, similar items here. But what most beginners do is they think that the best way to find winning products is to just go to random websites and look through their clearance sections, which is known as manual sourcing. Do not do that if you're a complete beginner, because that you don't yet know your favorite suppliers, you don't yet know your favorite discounts. What makes a lot more sense, guys, is using what's called the storefront stalking method to say, hey, okay, what are other sellers carrying, right? What other fast stuff they got, and can I find other winning products from there? So the way you're going to do that, guys, is by scrolling down here on SellerAmp, we can now see the other sellers that carry this product, and we want to find the people that are proven that they're making money. How do we know they're making money? We have 25, 50 plus reviews here. So we can see, 82 reviews right there, right? We can see this seller's actually listed on this listing twice. You're not supposed to do that, but Amazon doesn't really enforce it here, right? We can see, the seller's got 2 reviews, so we're not going to look at them, right? And we go to this listing here as well. We can see, boom, just getting going right there. Right, we can see, 1,400 reviews. That looks pretty good right there. Right, we can see, take a look at this here as well. These big sellers here on this stuff. Let's see, 44 maybe right there. Right, we can see, a bunch of new sellers. 146, right? So now we can come to these listings here and very quickly inside these seller storefronts, this is called storefront stalking, like looking inside the storefronts of other sellers, we can now find stuff that we know is selling quick, and all we have to be able to do is track it down properly. So what I want to do is very instantly here, we can see all the brands the seller carries, all the categories the seller carries as well. We could filter into specific ones using SellerAmp too. And now all the stuff that shows up at the top of their storefront is going to be their fastest selling winning products with the best sales rank here. So we can see this seller's got, 2,900 Asins. So personally not going to worry about them. But this seller's got, 400 Asins. I can take a look at that, right? And we'd see all the different brands they carry, et cetera here. So say, for example, Goodfellow & Co. I know Goodfellow & Co. comes from Target, right? I just kind of happen to know that. So all we need to do is open up the listings we know are selling well here. So we can see, 300K rank. We can take a look at that during high demand time. 280K rank right here, right? We can see 250K rank right here, right? And then we can see, okay, they got a bunch of, Nautica stuff as well, right? Unfortunately, stuff like Nike and Adidas is currently closed for newer sellers. You can't ungate it. But to verify if you can sell something, all you need to do is make sure that you can actually apply for it for the Ungate in Seller Central. So we can say like Nautica, like 16K rank. Okay, let's take a look at that. I found some good Nautica stuff over the years, right? 6K rank. Let's take a look at that here, right? 100K rank. Let's take a look at that here, right? And then we take a look at, boom, more Calvin Klein stuff here as well. More Tommy Hilfiger stuff. So we can see those tank tops here, 18. We'll take a look at those bad boys here, right? 2K rank. 127K rank, right? So we can see tons of stuff that sells quick here, and we can just rock and roll these different sellers and open up all this stuff here. Then we go ahead and see, okay, what can we actually track down profitably here, right? So now we take a look at these listings here. We can see this has a bunch of different colors and sizes here, guys. So what I need to do to start out, guys, is I need to go down here to the variations tab on Keepa and see which variations are selling best. So when you go to the variations tab on Keepa, you pretty quickly see this different view. But you want to make sure you actually take a second, organize your columns similar to mine. So you can actually go ahead and do that where we can filter, click to filter top to bottom by like buy box price, reviews, current, new offer count, etc. So I can see this one shows good movement. Now the competition is trending up a bit here, but largely looks pretty good here. So these are like 18. Right? Or these are like 36 here. So in order to be profitable, we need to pick them up for like 18. The way the Amazon fees and stuff break down, in order to actually make money, typically you need to pay, half or less what you can sell it for, right? So we can see, although the sales rank's high, there's good movement on this item. So this is misleading, and that is the shoes and clothing category. It's a really, really big category here, right? So we can see it's a 400K rank. This listing totally moves. And then all we need to do is say, hey, okay, what websites carry this product? I happen to know that Goodfellow items come from Target. So if I just Google these here, we can see, yeah, 18 over on Target here. And then all we need to do is go ahead and use discounted gift cards. Sometimes you'll get cancels on discounted gift card websites. You just need to do their KYC just to verify that you're actually legit right there. So we can see, yeah, it looks like 13% discounted gift cards here. So we plug in 18, we're not good. But if we plug in 18 minus 13%, now we are good here. $6 profit, 38% ROI, historically good right there. Not a bad example of a winning product here, guys. Although the competition is trending up a bit here the past couple weeks, it went from 9 to like 11. That's not much. I can see this is a proven winning product here. And we can take a look at these other ones too. We can see, yeah, 36. I'm pretty sure I actually saw these good. One of the examples earlier here. So we can see, yeah, like 36 here. We can go ahead and plug this in. We're going to see, yeah, 14.5, so that's not bad right here. Yes, this is super, super profitable here. So let's see. Yeah, 14.45 minus the discounted gift cards here. This is an excellent winning product. Yeah, $11 profit, 84% ROI. Not bad whatsoever here, but it does have the private label alert here on SellerAmp. So what we need to do is make sure this listing isn't dominated by the brand itself. We can see the names of the sellers here is not the brand here. If it was like Goodfellow, we'd obviously want to avoid that here. And now you guys have seen 2 examples of winning products. Go ahead and open up these Asins and storefront stock from here too and find other stuff. Obviously, not every item is going to be good. We can take a look here. So we can see like, yeah, 2K rank on these Calvin Klein boxes here. This looks great. These look really good in like the 36 range. So we need to pay max cost here like 19 or less. So we plug this in. Yeah, we can see like 25 here on Macy's. So let's see. So 25 here, 0.76. Yes, we can see just about break even here. We can take a look at the discounted gift card situation on Macy's here. Let's see. Let's go over to Card Bear here. Boom. Plug in Macy's right here. Yeah, 14% off. So we can see, yeah, take off. Let's see. Yeah, 14% right there. We can see, yeah, 2% ROI there, so or 9% ROI, so that doesn't work. I could see if there's any coupons or anything like that on Macy's. I don't even think this is the right item here. Okay, yeah, I think this is the right item, but regardless here, we take a look at that. So yeah, right, doesn't look good. The coloring's a little bit different too. So the way you want to do it basically is you need to understand that each website has like 1 or 2 tips or tricks that make the margin work. Macy's, it might just be waiting for a bigger sale to go down, right? So unfortunately, I don't really think that's going to work here. Let's check these out here. So we can see these are in like the 60 range. Damn, I feel like I could find these for like 30 here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Damn. Okay. So they're on the Calvin Klein website at $50. So those don't look good. Yeah. Let's see. What about if there's any other ones? Because these are nicely on sale here at like Nordstrom Rack and Mason and stuff like that. So let's see. Yeah. 72 here. These multicolor briefs. Let's see. 48 here. Okay. Potentially here. Let's see. Those look a little different too. Yeah. 48 minus 25% here. That's not bad. I think this is just, yeah, these are a little different though. Yeah. Hip briefs. Yeah. Oh, wow. So it actually does say the same thing. Interesting here. Let's see. Wow. Okay. Never mind. I think these actually are either you always want to make sure of it, but this actually looks nice and profitable here. We can see, yeah, $6 profit here. Doesn't have a ton of movement in the past, but it is super profitable. And there were literally no sellers here for a little while. So that's potentially not bad. Just make sure it's obviously the right item here as well. Let's see. Next one up here, these tank tops. Boom. These are like 37 here. Let's go ahead and plug these in on Google. We can see, yeah, so we need these 24 here. Let's see. So Macy's, we have discounted gift cards here. So it'd be like 23 minus 14%. Let's see. So yeah, close right here. So this actually is historically good. It used to be like 40 plus here. So we can see if this goes back up to like 42, this would be good. So what I would want to do in this case is add this to a SellerAmp spreadsheet to come back to this in the future. Unfortunately, not good today here. Let's see these Nautica ones as well. Nautica is an ungate that actually requires 100 units. For whatever reason, it takes a while to approve. I've still seen 10 work, but Nautica is a totally good brand. We can see variations going for like 26 here. All we did is go to the variations, make sure there's good off account movement on this. We can go ahead and plug these bad boys in. We can see, yeah, so it looks like Nautica, like most brands really only come from 1 or 2 places, right? So we plug in $15 right here, take off 20% here, close, and then we check the discounted gift card situation too as well. Let's see. Nautica website here, boom, yeah, 16%. So we'd see this does end up being a winning product right here. And we'd see 16, boom, yeah, $5 profit, 46% ROI. Not bad whatsoever here. And also when you're a newer seller, I do love the idea of selling some items merchant filled. And the way you want to go ahead and calculate the merchant filled cost is not just subtracting shipping from here. It's actually scrolling down here on SellerAmp and toggling over to FBM and then making sure that you plug in the FBM cost right here. So if I just go to howtofbm.com, it's a free guide I made for you guys. We can see the FBM cost right here. You want to make sure you screenshot this. We can pull the weight, just scrolling up here and get the weight, and then we go ahead and plug this in so we can see FBA, this listing actually isn't profitable, but FBM, it is profitable, and there's so many hidden leads like that, you have to make sure you're factoring in. And we can see, taking a look further on these guys down here at the variations here, I think there's actually a crap ton of variations that are profitable here. We can see, yeah, look at these, yeah, like movement, blocky, avoid that, blocky, avoid that, movement, and they all just make sense of that. Like there's no excuse not to find leads, guys. All we're doing is storefront stalking. You can use the winning proxies you're saying, hey, what websites carry this prox? How can I make the numbers work on them, right? So we can see, like 45 here. Let's see. So we can see, 45 here. Got some decent movement on that. We want to make sure we're avoiding all the blocky variations here. So let's see. So 45 here, this bright cobalt one. Boom, plug it in on Google here as well. Let's see, bright cobalt here. Let's see, so 19. Let's see, so bright cobalt here. It says the same color. That definitely looks like a different color, though, so I'd want to avoid that. You have to make sure that you want to prioritize the picture because that's what the customer's paying for on Amazon here. Let's see. Anything else? So, blocky. Yeah, let's see, these reds. Let's see, they got the reds here. Deep fuchsia. Let's see, we're looking for Nautica red. Okay, Nautica red. Boom. Okay, cool. Yeah, $19.99. So, game time here. So, $19.99. And then we got that 20% coupon. So we want to take off that as well right here, right? So we're getting 62% ROI, $10 profit. Not bad whatsoever. Absolutely the name of the game here. And then you can go off here and say, okay, what proven sellers have this product here? We can see, we'd see 170 reviews right there, right? When see, 15 reviews right there. So not really going to worry about that. Big seller, bunch of new brand ideas potentially. Obviously, you just have to make sure other people are making money on them. Then you can go ahead and take a look at that stuff furthermore and clean up more listings here. So we can see these. Boom, go to variations here, right? Saying, hey, okay, these are 29 here. Don't automatically avoid stuff that doesn't have a buy box here. That can totally be good too. But at 29 here, we can go ahead and see. We want to pick these up for 15 or so, right, in order to be profitable right here. Boom, Google these, say, hey, who carries them? We can see it. 18 on target here. So 18, I believe, was 13% discounted gift cards here. So we can see, just about break even. Has this ever been profitable, though? Up at 36, we can see here. Yeah, it has, right? So it's not good today, but it's been profitable over time, so we can track that as well. And that's going to be the name of the game with product research, guys. Just opening up, seeing, hey, what are other folks making money on here? Taking a look at the variations, right? We can see. Sellers got a ton of stuff. We can take a look at Tommy Hilfiger here. We can see, 38. 141, 29 here. We'll take a look at these. Now, Amazon's on some of them. I'm going to look for variations Amazon isn't on, right? And then we take a look at Gap stuff as well. And then it's for the most part, right, each brand really only comes from one or two places here. So it becomes pretty simple over time to be able to find a lot of leads here. So let's see. So it's Tommy Hilfiger stuff. We'll go down here, say, hey, what variations are people making money on here, right? So we go here, what variations people making money on here, right? We'll give these a quick Google as well. So we can see, 20. Okay, these could totally work here at 20 bucks here. Let's see. So let's see. So these don't really have any movement here. Let's see, 52 here as well. Let's see, got the two buttons there. I think those are a tad different here. Let's see. So got the black buttons. This one's got, okay, those are a little different. Those would be profitable. I don't think those are the same thing though. 20, damn, minus an extra 30% off. So that is super, super profitable. Pretty sure that's not the same thing that you also always want to verify right there. Let's check these guys out. So boom, pop down to variation. Say, hey, what are folks making money on? Damn, okay, I don't think we're going to be able to find these for $2 there. So I'm not going to worry about those here. Let's see these t-shirts here. Blocky on the first ones. We'll take a look here, variation, see if anything is has nice movement here. 38K rank. We know folks making money on it here. Let's see. So take a look at these bad boys. Let's see. 45. Not a ton of movement here. We'll see if we can pick this up for 20 though. Let's see. Because obviously not every listing is going to be good, but you put in the work, use the different discounts. You've already seen a bunch of different discounts for different websites. That's how you're going to create the margin on stuff. Okay, this should be good here. Let's see. Signature. So see Tommy Hilfiger embroidered flag here. So let's see. Yes, these are 26.70, I believe here. Boom, white one's 26.70 here. We can see a couple size out of stock. We want the grays though here. Boom, minus 30% for a purchase of 200 plus here. So we take off 30%. Boom, that's the margin we're looking for. $13 profit, 67% ROI. Absolutely not bad. And now we can see, now we know the discount for Tommy Hilfiger too is this sale when it's on here. And we can look at their discounted gift cards as well, right? Boom, hop here to variations. Say, hey, what are folks making money on? Pop here to variations. Hey, what are people making money on here? Right, we can see, I don't like, that going up there. This going down here, though, 36. We take a look at this. I think we already looked at the gray ones. So I think one size was good there, right? So that's the name of the game is all you want to do is just say, hey, what are folks making money on? And what can we go ahead and track down from there? And that's the name of the game with product research. So many beginners waste so much time doing manual sourcing. Just focus on storefront stocking. It's going to make your life a lot easier. And we'd see these are $50. Let's see if we can make money on these. So $50 here as well. So we can see, stable price too as well. So we plug this in on Google here. We can see, 35 here. Boom. So these work, guys. So let's see. 35 here, right? So these hoodies. So 35, not good. Minus this 20% sign-up code, right? Minus discounted gift cards as well. Not bad whatsoever. $10 profit, 47% ROI. Perfect example of not finding items good, but making items good. That's the name of the game with product research as an all-in arbitrage beginner. Get SellerAmp, get Keepa, get after it. So how do you know if a supplier is actually legit? The best way to tell if a supplier is actually legit is going to be seeing if they take PayPal. Always check out their PayPal. It's way quicker. It's way more secure. You can also just look at their social media. I also like looking up different websites on Better Business Bureau and Trustpilot and Google reviews to verify if they're legit as well. Then you can also see if they have any brick and mortar locations and look up the reviews in the brick and mortar locations, see if they actually exist on Google Maps. You can't really fake that kind of stuff. Well, for the most part, though, you're going to be buying off websites that you already know about, and you're going to learn a lot more just taking a look here as well. Number one rule of sourcing, guys, you don't find them good, you make them good. Every website has one or two tips or tricks that create all the profit margins. Very rarely will an item be profitable at the cost you see on the website. You typically make it good. Use the discounted guide to create lots of winning products here. Going through literally this checklist for every website. Does this retailer have any discounted gift cards on Cardbear? Does this retailer have a good rewards program like Kohl's Cash? Do the free extensions you want to download, Capital One Shopping and Coupon Birds, have any coupons? Is there an email account or text sign-up coupon like we saw on Gap? Does this website take sales tax exempt? You can get what's called a reseller certificate just using a state's website. Just make sure you follow the rules. ChatGPT will tell you exactly how to do it, where you can avoid sales tax on certain websites like Walmart and Home Depot. That's a great tool I talk about in my videos. Is there a holiday coming up? When I'm filming this, Mother's Day, Memorial Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, July Prime Day are coming up the next couple months. Those are going to be great opportunities to take a look at stuff. Is this item more profitable FBM compared to FBA? Just using the FBM calculator and SellerAmp. Can this item be sold higher via FBA if there's a bunch of FBM people on it at lower price with further out delivery dates? Is there a subscribe and save or wholesale discount available, right? You don't find items good, you make items good. Very rarely will the items be profitable at the advertised price. The number one beginner product research mistake I see beginners making is expecting items just to be hanging out there profitable. Get your first sales ASAP beginner checklist now that you guys know what product research looks like. Number one is just going to be open up your seller account, get free trials of Boxum and SellerAmp on our websites, boxum.com, selleramp.com, get a Keepa subscription, download the Capital One Shopping and Coupon Birds free Chrome extension to see any other potential coupon codes to stack on. Get your free shipping supplies from USPS and UPS. Yeah, USPS and UPS give out lots of free shipping supplies. UPS free shipping labels, USPS some boxes. Order F and SKU labels on Amazon, clear poly bags, and gray poly mailers from Amazon as well. And then boxes from Walmart too. So you want to just go ahead and go through that checklist there nice and easy. Just buy the ones for lots of reviews on Amazon. And then go through the AutoUngate list in the description to AutoUngate some stuff from day one. And then literally just start doing storefront stocking on your own. But how do I actually scale my business? Once I get some initial sales, buying 5 to 10 unit test orders, buying 10 for Ungates, right? How do I actually scale my business? You move from 5 to 10 unit test orders to 20 to 50 unit orders. You track leads over time and sales over time using the SellerAmp Google Sheets feature and box them for restocking products, eventually going deeper, because it's pretty much a 50-50 split between items that are only good when they're on sale and items that are good using coupons that don't really go away, discounts that don't really go away. So a lot of stuff you can buy 24/7. Sometimes you have to wait for different sales, just kind of ebbs and flows between the two. Coupon items are a little bit more consistent, sites like Walmart, right? Meanwhile, sale items are a little bit more sporadic when there's a sale going on different holidays. Q4 and back to school are huge points for volume increase, and they're coming fast. You can start with FBM and then eventually switch to mainly FBA just using Boxum, except on obvious FBM plays. Always make sure to do it. And then you should always be storefront stocking to find opportunities beyond your current catalog and understand that each website has 1 or 2 tips and tricks that create all leads. So you can track those and take advantage of them over time. It's going to make it way easier. So now we'll talk about how to actually use Boxum to list items for FBM and FBA and to actually send out FBA shipments. All right, guys. So once you create your Boxum account, you just sync it to your Amazon Seller Central account. It works completely together. Everything can be done on Boxum for the listing and shipping process. You don't need to move back and forth between Seller Central. So obviously, Stafford's an AutoUngate brand. Although don't be afraid of stuff that's gated. Just get ungated and nice and easy. If the ungating wasn't possible, there wouldn't be sellers in those listings. So all we need to do is grab the ASIN right here, and then say we bought this product. The rank's super high, but say we just bought this product here, and then over in Boxum here to list stuff. You actually need to do 2 parts. So for listing FBM, you just go here and hit list FBM. You put in the item, you do exactly what I'm about to show you, and then it's live in your account. To list FBA, you first need to add the ASIN to your account, and then we're going to actually create a shipment for that ASINs or ASINs. You can put multiple items in the same shipment as well as just in the same box. So say we want to list this item FBA right here. We just want to go ahead and copy and paste in that ASIN too. We could search it as well. Boxum's lightning quick, and then we just need to go ahead here and hit new SKU. Right? And now we need to add in all the information for this right here as well. So for list price, you just want to match the buy box price right here. For buy cost, say we pick this up for $16, right? Supplier info, we can go ahead and just type in, you can add in a supplier, I would just put like JCPenney's, right? Then you want to go ahead and put your date purchased as well right here. So we do April 4th right there, condition new, and then it automatically generates a custom SKU that shows the source price and the buy cost right here as well. Expiration date, so you'll need to put that in for listings that do require an expiration date. Obviously, clothing's not going to right there. Then we just go ahead and hit add listing right here. And then we just go ahead and hit submit FBA listings right here. And then if this were FBM, it's the exact same process. Then once that loads, it's going to be live in your account, live in your Seller Central account. But for FBA right here, we just want to go ahead and hit submit and then wait like 10, 15 minutes for that actually to load into our account, this specific ASIN or ASINs we listed right here. And then we want to go ahead and hit create shipment. So to start off, we're just going to go ahead and hit boom, submit FBA listings, and I'll check in you guys in a sec. So now guys, we're in the create shipment page. Now we're actually going to create our shipment to send this off to Amazon. I'll show you the whole process of labeling and that entire thing here. So to ship this, we just go to shipment name. We'll call it free course test right here. Fulfillment type, we'll do FBA. If you wanted to do FBM, obviously you guys know what that looks like from watching the FBM flow. Ship from, you can put in a bunch of different addresses here. Say you're using a prep center, you put in the prep center address there as well. Amazon understands how all that stuff works. Box contents, I like doing 2D barcodes with the Box Done Professional plan right there. So the $7 a month plan rather than the $50 a month plan. You could get started with the base though, but I do like the 2D barcodes right there. Auto pricing for your SKUs. When you actually list stuff to send into FBA, I do recommend pricing 25% above the buy box and then actually moving it to price competitive once it's actually fully checked in. That way you don't price tank your listings by accident. Auto print FNSKUs I like doing as well for the FNSKU labels that'll go on the individual products. And then I like doing all of these for custom SKUs as well. Then we just go ahead and hit create shipment right here. And now we can go ahead and paste in that ASIN and we can see it's nicely waiting for us right here. 0 in stock, obviously, because we just listed and wait a little while for it to load. Then we just go here, and now we can see all that right here as well. We can see offers right here. We can go ahead and price this, 25% above. Say we put it like 60% or 62% right there, right? Buy cost of 16. Say we do 10 units. Right here, supplier, we already have that in there. JCPenney's as well. Date purchased right there too. Boom, boom, boom. Then we'd see prep category, like doing Amazon provided, right? Prep owner, seller, label owner, seller right there. Expiration date, no expiration date needed. Then we just go ahead and hit add to shipment right here. And then you could do multiple SKUs per box. You could do multiple products per box. And we just go ahead and continue right here as well. And they want to submit this off to Amazon right here and move on to step 2. All right, guys, so now we're here in step 2 where we're actually going to create the boxes and assign right here as well. So to start off, we just want to go ahead and hit create first box right here. Then we hit submit dimensions and weight. I like using the ones from Walmart that are 24 by 16 by 19 here. Obviously, in this case, say you were only doing 10 units, you probably would want to merge fill this until you have multiple products send into FBA. But say we just do this nice standard here, hit update right here. Then that's ready. We go ahead and print those FNSKU labels right here. Boom, there's our FNSKU labels right there as well, which we're going to go ahead. These will go either on the outside of the poly bag if it's required for poly bagging for a specific item, which clothing it almost always is, it'll tell you, or if it's just like a product in a box that doesn't require poly bag, you just put it over the barcode right there as well. Make sure you always either cover the suggested retail pricing or take off suggested retail pricing tags as well. All right, guys, and we just want to assign the boxes. If you did have multiple boxes, you could do bulk assign, which will actually create them as well, which is awesome as well. I do like showing you guys the creation box process here as well. And then we'd sign, boom, just hit split across one box right there, boom. Then we'd see those nicely get added in there as well. Then we just want to, boom, we'd see that box right there. Then to go ahead and hit continue right here as well and submit pack groups and move on to step 3. All right, guys, so now we're in step number 3 where we decide what warehouse our products are actually going to go to. So it's giving us 3 different options, 1 to Homestead, Florida, 1 to Lansing, Michigan, and 1 to Los Lunas, New Mexico. You almost always want to do the cheapest one right here, which we can see is about $12.55 here total as well. I do recommend adding in your estimated shipping costs to Amazon in your SellerAmp settings right here, just on selleramp.com, hit settings right there. That way it automatically calculates it in there. That's how the shipping is actually calculated. This specific shipment is coming out to about $1.2 per pound, right? But typically it'd be at about 80 cents because obviously in almost every case, you're going to need multiple different items per shipment, multiple products, more than 10 per, right, total items right there. Then I also recommend adding in your sales tax and your SellerAmp settings MISC fee right there. That way we don't have to add it in the buy cost. I'm sure some of you guys are thinking that right there. So SellerAmp settings are super important too. And then the only case you would want to do one of the more expensive ones potentially is if you have a ton of one item, you already have some of it allocated to a specific warehouse right there. We go here, boom, we can see Homestead, Florida. Typically the cheapest is going to be the closest as well. We just go ahead and continue right here. And then we move on to step 4 right here and accept shipping charges. All right, guys, now we're here in step number 4 and ready to rock and roll. We can reprint the FNSKU labels if we want to. We could print just the box labels right here as we want to. I like just clicking here and doing both of them right there. Then we can go ahead and pull these up. So here is both the 2D barcode for outside the box as well as the shipping label for outside the box as well. These just go on the side right next to each other. And then if you want to reprint those FNSKUs, we go here as well and decide the exact amount we need. boom, we can print those Evan SKUs. So these go on each specific unit, and then these shipping labels, the FBA box label as well as the shipping label, go on the outside. And then we're completely good to go right here, and you're good to just ship this product off to Amazon right there. Obviously, this, I sped up the loading sections right here because it'd be kind of boring for you guys just watch me sit it right there. We can see shipping from the box office to the Amazon warehouse in Homestead, Florida, I believe right there. Now you're good to go, and you just ship those off and get it going right there to Amazon. That's the entire listing and shipping process using Boxem, which makes life a lot easier. Nothing's required in Amazon Seller Central for the listing and shipment process. So now that you guys know how to find winning products and how to actually get your items listed on Amazon using Boxem, I also want to talk about what scaling your business looks like using advanced online arbitrage things like prep centers and virtual assistants. So prep centers are an absolute game changer where instead of shipping the inventory to you, you actually ship to a prep center and they have limited access to your Boxem account and your seller account to actually get those items listed on the platform. You literally can avoid sales tax using a sales tax-free prep center, and you can scale a lot quicker because you don't have to do a lot of stuff. It makes sense once you can send 500 units per month to get one set up. You can start out just by looking on Google here. Make sure it's in a sales tax-free state like Oregon, Montana, New Hampshire, Delaware, because luckily you only pay sales tax from where you actually ship the inventory so they can receive it for you and actually send it out. The best way to find a prep center will always be a referral within the community. Your network is your net worth. I always recommend being active in the Amazon community to make friends in the space. It makes life a lot easier. So once you start doing some prep center outreach, once you're ready to send like 500 units per month, I'd recommend just starting out on Google and then your referrals within the community, potentially on like Instagram or anything like that. And when you actually interview a prep center, you're looking for a good long-term partner. So you want to ask them like, how long have they been in business? You probably don't want a prep center that started yesterday, right? Do they use Boxem to actually make the shipping process easier? Or if it's going to be really complicated, if you have to use like Seller Central and stuff like that. So you want them using Boxem, right? What is their pricing and minimum required units? Typically, you want to start out around $1.50 or $1.75 per unit, and then ideally scale down with volume. You want to sense their pricing, ideally very transparently. Because the nice thing is, when you buy a $50 product and ship it to yourself, if you're paying 8% sales tax, you're going to pay $54. But if you're shipping it to a prep center, you're only going to pay like $51.50, right? Taking off no sales tax, but adding in the prep cost right there. How close are they to actual capacity? How many employees do they have? What's their point of contact? Do they have any reviews or references you can take a look at? Do they have Google My Business? Do they have social media? Are any people blowing them up on Amazon, Instagram? What would getting started today actually look like, right? What's your point of contact with them? What does their onboarding process look like? Their SOPs, et cetera, there. Getting a prep center typically makes sense down the line once you can send like 500 units per month. Virtual assistants are another part of that. So prep centers you hire to prep your inventory for you. Virtual assistants are who you can hire to eventually start to run different parts of your business. Stuff like sourcing, accounting, organization, etc. Finding employees that are willing to work cheap digital jobs for you, right? In countries like India, Pakistan, countries where the US dollar goes really far. OnlineJobs.ph is the best place to hire them. OnlineJobs.ph is basically like Online Jobs Philippines. It's all Filipino people. I believe it's a great place to hire virtual assistants. Ideally, you want to look for a culture fit that has a little bit or a lot of potential experience, but understand that you need to train your virtual assistant, right? Aim to do this once you're at like 10 to 20K a month in sales. It can be an absolute game-changing help for you, right? Use ChatGPT to design the job posting for you. Aim to pay $3 to $6 per hour, depending on what the prospects are actually charging and their experience level. And understand, good VAs are built, not bought. They're not a magic bullet. You need to get to know them and train them and check their leads, send them different Loom videos breaking down different items, and understand you can't really get virtual assistants right away from the get-go. You need to actually, for your hiring contracts to do this stuff, you need to be competent with your own. And that's exactly why you're watching this free course, to go ahead and do that, get started selling on your own, and then eventually consider outsourcing to prep centers and virtual assistants. The best way to hire a VA is to get 2 VAs on a paid week-long trial after just posting on onlinejobs.ph. I'd recommend at the end of your job posting, which you get from ChatGPT, then customize it a little bit. Put like, add in your favorite color to your resume or add into your favorite color to your email replies so you actually read it. Then get on Zoom with the best candidates and then hire 2 of them on a paid week trial. You get to compare them right there. Nice and easy. It makes the process a lot easier. So guys, you now have the entire blueprint code from 0 to 10K a month as a complete beginner selling on Amazon. But here's the thing. Most people will do absolutely nothing with what you just learned. I want you to be one of the ones that prove me wrong. Now for the path forward, you have 2 choices. Number 1, you can start out on your own and try to figure out everything by yourself, which could easily lead to failure because time is money and waiting months to get the ball rolling is very expensive. You'll miss out on having the best up-to-date methods handed to you, and your chance of quitting goes way up without other people in the game with you. Option number 2 is going to be you work with me one-on-one to start or grow your Amazon biz. So I have something for you if you want hand-holding and one-on-one mentorship through this entire process. My private one-on-one coaching program, which gives you battle-tested strategies with countless success stories, by far the most in the industry. Every case study you've seen during this training has been through my program. These things get much easier when you have a proven system and work with an expert. The right piece of info when you need it goes a long way, and it can be the difference between success and failure over the long term. It's also a lot more fun when you're on a team and have other sellers around you that are crushing the game. My coaching program is not a course. It's Done With You Coaching, the best results-driven program out there for Amazon online arbitrage, and it's not even close. I cover in incredible detail how to source the best products, how to make listings profitable 24/7, cutting-edge market trends and changes in real time, how to sell inventory faster and at higher prices than your competition, how to get ungated quick and easy, how to build a network of sellers to mastermind and learn from, all the boring back-end stuff that is annoying but easy to mess up and necessary to know. Literally all of that covered in detail. This program has everything you need. We have tons of successful students here. You can see 90% ROI sourced today before it even sold. Successful student on flips, bunch of FBM wars going out, pump and stay, 2K by noon. Started Miles' coaching program in May, nice little 100K in sales. And obviously you should aim for about 10 to 20% profits. These are revenue numbers. I do want to have full transparency here, but life-changing money is online if you put in a bunch of hard work and stay consistent with stuff. That's the key, is this stuff only works if you put in a bunch of effort. Andrew sells 6 figures part-time while working as a full-time engineer, and he got started with me. I played around with Amazon private label a bit, but he started all in arbitrage, took it serious, and now working with me, he's found success. Michael and Pete were actually 2 of my first coaching students ever. They both went from 0 to 7 figures with Amazon OA in under a year. Now they're both doing great things, actually moved on to mainly Amazon wholesale. They have a warehouse they share together in South Florida. Ariel cut down his full-time truck driving hours after making $10,000 profit in one single month, growing his Amazon business, working with me in my coaching room, and now he's aiming to have more freedom in the future. And for the sake of transparency, guys, what do you actually get when you join my coaching program? To show you literally everything you get. So I'm the only Amazon coach who actually gives you my personal phone number, who actually does one-on-one calls. So unparalleled one-on-one access to me via my personal phone number. You're also going to get 3 group coaching calls per week, 2 by me and 1 by my head coach, Garrett, a live one-on-one sourcing call directly with me on Zoom. That's just you and I, live sourcing, going into any questions you got. Same thing with the personalized one-on-one help. You'll be given all my favorite coupons, tips, tricks, and strategies. So when you start out doing sourcing on your own, it can be hard because you don't know the discounts that are required in different websites. I'll just give you all of them through my coaching program. You'll be directly connected with other Amazon sellers in the community who are crushing the game as well. This stuff gets so much easier when you find other people to work with. And there's 3 components to it, guys. The community, which is a group of other sellers winning together and collaborating. Content's going to be 3 group coaching calls a week, all the recordings and a video course showing the step-by-step, and then one-on-one coaching directly from me with my personal phone number, DM access, a one-on-one sourcing call, and all the support you need along the way. It's also the perfect place to get your questions answered, find cool sellers to network with and have accountability partners with, stay up to date with different trends, and celebrate your wins along the way. A lot of my students consider the one-on-one access to me in the community more valuable than the actual course. And we can see Coda here, just getting started. Gotta love that. Almost 100K a month right there. So probably right around $20,000 in profit. We can see actually higher. It says 24% margin. He's doing a lot of retail arbitrage as well. Even better, right? We can see John 2 for month 2, not too savvy for our second month. This month I want to double it to 12K. Let's go. John's doing all FBA. He's nicely scaling up like that. And we can see Amon here hit 20K this month. I don't think Amon's doing any merchant filled as well. He's just scaling up all FBA nice and easy while working his 9 to 5. Then you have to understand, guys, these results do not come easy. The link to apply and speak with my student success manager, Aaron, is in the description so we can see if we're a good fit to work together. And I just really don't want to waste anyone's time. This program does not make sense for most people. Most people can't focus, are lazy, and can't commit to working hard on something for a while. Don't apply if that's you. But if you believe you have what it takes to win, I'd love to talk through if it makes sense. And you can do that. Just go to the link in the description, put in your information, and apply. There's some qualifying questions to see if it makes sense as well, right? And PSA, guys, due to high demand, I will be raising the price soon. So make sure you lock in your application and speak with my student success manager, Aaron, while the price is still low. You'll need to click the link in the description to fill out the application to see if you qualify. The choice is yours, guys. You can work directly with me with a proven system, or you can get started on your own, right? Steven went from 20K a month when he joined. He's actually doing a lot of retail arbitrage to now 200K a month just 6 months later. And he's actually scaled his business way beyond that and is actually traveling full time, growing his Amazon business using a prep center. Thomas replaced his 9 to 5 income in less than a year. Thomas is an absolute stud. He put in a ton of good effort to actually get there. And then Dan went from college football player to 7-figure Amazon seller in like 18 months and was able to get out of his mortgage job he really didn't like. And we even do student meets as well. So coast to coast, guys. So this is in Santa Monica, California last year, and this is in Miami, Florida as well. We got all the box and t-shirts as well. I love connecting with my students in person as well. We got a couple of Amazon events the next 6 months where we'll be at in person as well, hanging out with students, interacting and building the community too. And literally, this is kind of crazy, but I've actually made lifelong friendships with some of my students too. Literally, Steven, Dan, Max, Joe, Pete, Nick in this picture. Literally, we all met just originally joining my coaching program, and that's how we built a lifelong friendship and actually got to Garrett all out of Amazon's wedding last year. And this is literally just a big community of Amazon sellers that were actually at the wedding. Selling on Amazon is a social thing you shouldn't do by yourself, right? And this at the Miami Sellers Conference as well. There's Garrett from the Buy Box Bandits. There's Aaron, 0-day handling time, my student success manager as well. He's doing 6 figures a month on Amazon, traveling the world. Will just had his first 6 figure month. Parker did almost, I think, a little bit above $100,000 profit in December alone. Pete had a $70,000 profit month working part-time with his remote 9 to 5. And Max here, Max used online arbitrage as a cash machine and was able to eventually actually move on to private label as well. Coaching students are accepted by application only for hardworking and serious people. Succeeding selling on Amazon is not easy. Go to the link in the description to apply and see if you qualify and get it now before I raise the price. Here's what you get, guys, just review. Full access to 20 plus hours of course content, all my favorite deals delivered right to you, weekly live Q&A calls with me and Garrett and live sourcing calls, exclusive software and prep center discounts, one-on-one live coaching call with me, and personalized one-on-one help directly from me with my personal phone number and coaching calls with no one does right there. Plus a whole lot more once you're actually in the community. So link in the description to apply to see if it makes sense to work together. We are very selective and need to make sure it's a good fit and that I can actually help you hit your goals as well. So which one are you guys going to be? The action taker or the procrastinator? You can go ahead and book in a time with Aaron to see if it actually makes sense and fill in our application. I look forward to working with you if that's something you're interested in. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and congrats on finishing the free all-in arbitrage course. If you guys have any questions about this stuff, please let me know down below in the comments. Follow me on Instagram @FlipsForMiles for more behind the scenes. Subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.